point.
Come on.
Hey, it's Mad Dogs Productions. That's right, we are live, MC. So you can continue to talk over me, or you could shut the fuck up for a goddamn second.
We got permission to talk all over him.
You heard him. Now that this is our show, Jensen and I will take over because obviously Mad Dodge doesn't know what he's doing online.
Just want to point out.
Wait, did you just tell me to learn the code?
No, we don't think you're good enough.
that would put you at the level of a coal miner, kind of a step up. Well, 2 or 3
Oh shit. Okay, but no, in about half an hour, the UK enters 2020, and the end of the world is nigh, right, Jensen?
Fucking, I mean, yes, that would be so cool. I mean, no, seriously, guys, could you imagine how awesome it would be? Is we're sitting here, we're doing this little stream, we're having a chat, we're having a laugh, and then suddenly it's like, guys, what's those lights outside? Holy shit, the aliens are, and then I could hit exit. How awesome would that be?
You assume that that's going to be the end of the world. What would it be like if we're just chatting away, having a good time, and we get a knock at the door and God says, "It's me. You guys are fucked."
That would be doubly awesome, actually. Yeah.
No, I can just see it. Jensen's looking out the window. He's like, wait a minute. Is that dude walking across the Thames? Holy shit, Jesus is back.
It's not true what I said about your boss. It's still okay.
He runs on out. Hey, it wasn't me. It really wasn't me.
Yeah, the guy you're looking for, his name's Mad Dodge. He's in Oregon. You're just in the wrong country, mate.
Really.
It's okay. Joke. We got witnesses. Isn't that right, MC? It was all Mad's fault. He did it. I heard him. He was saying, nail him up, I say. Crucifixion's too good for him.
Play that note now.
So while I'm waiting on some beer to get here so I could bring in the new year nice and drunk, just like I brought in last year. Actually, no. I was sober last year. Now I'm sad.
He doesn't even remember last year, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let him lie to you.
I remember. Petrick Farms remembers too.
The fact that you think it was Petrick Farms is already an excuse, right?
That's just so, Dodge. About us doing a roast for you for Christmas, for the new year. What do you think we start now? No? Oh, that's a shame.
He's looking up the word roast. Just what is that? Well, that's right. He's not looking it up there. He's trying to sit up there and Google it because he's got to figure out what it is.
Hey, I'm fancy now. I could just go, hey, Google, and ask it shit. And it will answer. Yeah, because they're totally not spying on me.
So you've been totally cyberized now.
Oh shit, my phone started talking to me. I told you.
Oh, dear God. I'm surprised it can understand you, mate.
Well, he's not Scottish. He's not Yorkie.
That's... I really hope Yorkie watches this. If you do, yeah, you northern bastard, suffer bitch.
For Yorkie, I know that you're not Scottish. Don't get too upset now. Come down for the ledge.
Yeah, are you sure you want to say come down? He might come down the quick way.
Well, it's just a matter of how things work, right? Isn't that how it's supposed to go?
That's how I was taught to do it. So, Dodge, are you going to try and rein us in now, or are you just going to let us literally let it go?
My wife just walked in, so you gotta bear with me here. I'm being handed I'm being handed alcohol and socks and shit. Just give me a minute.
Hey, Spud, how's it going? Hi, Yorkie.
Okay,
You freaking Scottish bastard.
Did you just call me Scottish?
Yeah. Yes, I did.
Oh, you cheeky little prick.
Well, to be honest, we were clubbing Mad Dodge, but it was like a baby seal, and I got tired. So I was just, what the hell?
Sorry about not turning up for the game. I set an alarm for about 7:30, but it didn't bother going off.
Well, really? What did you set it for the PM or did you set it for AM?
Oh, wait, real quick, before we start on our best and worst of 2019 and all that good shit, there's got to be a disclaimer. Anything anybody says, it does not reflect Mad Dodge Productions or the Mad Libertarian. It does completely reflect the views of MC, though. Just so you know, it does reflect the views of MC. Right, MC?
I've got broad shoulders. Bring it.
Oh, dear God, Mad, you don't even begin to understand how bad. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, crap.
It's funny. He throws a gauntlet down. He says, what I say isn't going to matter. It's his choice. Okay. And? Have you not listened to my streams? Do you? Oh, that's right. You don't wake up in the morning. My mistake.
There's a morning?
Well, come on, man.
You scream at 5 a.m., MC. No, I don't get up at 5 a.m. Who fucking gets up at 5 a.m.? Besides old people trying to get free pancakes.
People that work.
Oh, learn the code.
I don't have to. I've got a job.
Oh, that was MC. 5 points. Well done.
5 a.m.'s midday for me.
I'll build it up points for the game already.
Yeah, you know what? Hey, for every point Jensen gives you, I'm taking away 1 freebie point from your next character.
Like he cares. Have you not? No, okay. I'm not going to waste my time. This is Dodge we're talking to. Of course, he hasn't thought about it. Yeah, that was a good threat. I like it. Not.
Yeah, shut up, Jensen.
He takes me down to an intelligence of 2. Okay, so my character wanders in. It sees the light socket. Ooh. I have no problem playing this kind of character.
MC, Mad met the team, said hello, and then set fire to the inn they were in. Literally, that was what happened. He walked up, he said hello to me, I didn't answer him, so he tried to burn the building down. No offense, Mad wins. You cannot do something that stupid.
And then tried to cannibalize the Samitsi.
Well, yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Does this count as part of the best and the worst of 2019 there, Mad Dog?
That's on the best list.
Right,
but
ladies and gentlemen, that was on the best list. Can you imagine how bad the rest of this shit's going to be?
3 hours for 30 seconds.
Oh, yes, that was a moment.
Yeah. So we'll just
hey, Spud, that was kind of rude.
He's not wrong. I mean, come on. Let's be perfectly brutally honest here.
All right, so top 10 or top 20 worst things that happened in the UK for 2019. Who wants to start? And what number do you guys want to go with? We can do 100 probably.
I'm going to do the first one, and I think, and I'm not actually dicking around here. One of the worst things that happened 2019, we lost Cabby.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can't argue with that.
Anyone else? Yep. Thank you.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. Yeah.
In many ways, that is probably the most unfortunate thing that happened from the UK in 2019.
Yeah. That's why I thought it deserved to actually be on our first slot. It feels right. Okay. Where do we literally where do we start? Things that happened.
Well, I'll go next. How about let's lump all of Tommy Robinson's arrests into one mention on this list, because he got arrested 5 or 10 times in 1 year.
He was arrested twice. Just a constant shit show for the poor sod.
Well, he's, let's be honest, he is now target number one, and people are still gonna keep trying to bait him and target him because they can, and him being who he is, he's not going to back down. He's going to go at it his way. He's not going to ignore it, and they do it. They do it to him in a lot of different ways, but he's going to respond each and every time. Now, is it over the top? Yeah. Okay. Did they arrest him for bullshit reasons? Yeah, but he knows that they're going to do it. So since he's prepared to deal with it, then you got to kind of applaud the guy. You really do, because he's drawn his line in the stand, regardless of what society or what you think of him. He's got his line, and it's pretty well defined.
Well, everybody admires somebody who just won't bend anymore. You know what I mean? Like, that's it. No more. And you gotta admire that person, but then again, you don't necessarily want to emulate them, do you?
Well, I mean, does he take things to the nth degree? Yes. And is there a time period where you got to sit back and go, am I really helping not just myself, but my cause, the cause that I'm trying to, trying to put forward? His cause is obviously a good one. All right. Freedom of speech is very important. It's very critical. But can you hurt your own cause? Well, obviously. And just things that can come back to haunt you, like this. He's not the only one who has to deal with that either.
True. Unfortunately, he does have a family, and they also have a pretty large target on the back of their necks as well.
Yeah.
And I find it ironic how everyone goes, it's far right, even though he's an out-and-out Zionist. But, far right people aren't known for loving Israel, are they?
Well, that goes back to, that's something else that's happened in unfortunately in 2019 is you're seeing the ultimate rise in censorship from the SJW. They believe it. They redefined the OK symbol.
Yeah. And the thumbs up. Don't forget that one.
And milk.
Well, yeah, and before we go off on a tirade here, another thing from the UK I would like to bring up, I believe this was 2019, the porn license. You got your porn license, mate?
Do you mean the thing that they brought up and then immediately ditched? Yeah, it's working so well for them.
Well, everybody said, how are you going to enforce it? Oh, we'll have ways. Oh, really? what was that way going to be? We'll think
We're going to ask you really, really nicely. There you go.
It's not that I don't think that you could do certain things. Okay. For example, one of the things, if you really wanted to try and crack down on porn on the internet and trying to prevent children from seeing porn, is it going to be 100%? No. But what you could do is you could sit there and issue, just like instead of a .com, like a .xxx for all the what you consider a porn site, and then have it so that browsers automatically default to not being able to see it, but you can easily turn it off. All right, that would give parents, when their kids are just starting out. Unfortunately, for most parents, is the kids will quickly figure out how to defeat that.
Been there.
All right, but at least then the parents are at least trying to, if your kid does this, then that's still completely on you. You allowed your kid to do this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I agree, mate. Problem being is kids know the passwords to the whole house, no matter what the parents think they're doing.
Well, exactly. I mean, that's always going to be.
I'm looking at you, Mad.
That's always going to be the case, though. I mean, but so you have to be vigilant. Parents have to start taking some responsibility and accountability. When you give them all the tools and they still fail, they have nowhere else to turn. They can't sit up there and come back and go, well, it's this internet shit. Well, then turn the internet off. If you're really that disturbed about it and you don't want it going on in your house, just walk on in there, all right, and call up your freaking cable company and tell you, nope, I'm not having the internet anymore. Problem solved.
Yeah. The problem is they like the internet as well.
Of course, because they're searching the porn sites as well. That's really what the problem is. They just don't admit to it.
Yeah.
So, how most dad's phone or dad's laptop. Just again, looking at you, Dodge.
I don't think Dodge is the focal point of all evil in the world, just most of it. You can't blame him for everything. Well, actually, you can, but that's a separate issue.
It was Dodge that went around planting the apple trees.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Got him.
The frickin' apples.
What are you even talking about? Did the penguins get to you?
Hasn't it ever
We're not
occurred to
talking
you
about
that
penguins.
throughout history, all right, the downfall of man has always been associated with an apple? Haven't you thought about that? Think about it. Wherever you see the downfall of man, there's an apple involved.
So everywhere. What you're saying is we have to firebomb Apple. Got you.
Well, yes. When you talk about firebombings, well, the apple's the one thing that hit Newton on the head, which gave you calculus, which gave you nuclear weapons. Now think about that.
Holy shit.
All right. Apples are involved in the downfall of humanity, folks. We're not just talking Adam and Eve. Oh, it may have started there. But apples have always been there. Just remember, there's a reason they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away, because he's afraid to catch it.
Yeah.
So when students give their teacher an apple, they're secretly wishing the death upon the teacher.
It's a sign of hatred. How many? Come on. How many times have people sit up there and put things in the apple that they gave to the teacher, like a worm? Hell,
yes. I was actually thinking bleach,
poison. Hell, in Real Genius, if you remember that movie, all right, the guy had it and exploded.
I look innocent and pretend I wasn't listening to that part and snigger to myself.
I'm just thinking of the Columbine shooters just throwing apples at people.
Well, no, I'm thinking, when I would take black cats and put them in an apple and blow apples up, I was helping mankind.
You just didn't know it. You just didn't realize the advantages to apples. By the way, did you know that one of the byproducts of apple seeds is cyanide?
Yeah,
it's
true.
Although it's not much though. Like I think you'd have to have some 60 of them for it to actually poison you.
If you want a real chuckle, you just look at bananas. It's not like bananas are dangerous; they're only radioactive.
Okay, potassium is radioactive, certain isotopes, but the freaking banana itself is not radioactive, Jensen. Where did you hear this?
Well, B told me that's why they were green.
Were you standing next to an apple tree when she said it?
No. She'd already cut that down with one shoe.
Was it the same shoe she smacked you off the head with?
I neither confirm or deny.
And to think about the death of music. Think about the most popular band. Rock and roll was in its heyday. It was just starting to expand until the Beatles. What did the Beatles create? Apple Records.
Wait, real quick. Spud has a great question here. So will eating an apple a day build up a resistance to cyanide?
No, it will build up cyanide in your system and kill you.
Also true. Yeah, so how about that for a bit of insanity, Dodge? Your whole world is the way it is because of apples.
Even though he hasn't touched an apple in a couple of decades.
Yeah.
Explains how the United States became so powerful in the world. Johnny Appleseed ran across the country, spreading apples for everywhere. People think that it was disease that killed the Indians. No, it was the growing of the apple trees that wiped them out. Why do you think the Plains Indians were the last ones alive?
He's got you there. You notice how mad, the history expert of the group isn't actually disagreeing with anything you're saying.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out where the closest apple grove is so I can burn it to the ground. I mean...
Yeah, you want to be careful about that, Mad. You got to remember, apples, they're spread by spores. Do you really want to spread the spore everywhere? Be quiet, MC. So, Dodge, really? You want to set fire to it and spread the spores everywhere? I told you, ladies and gentlemen, Mad is the reason the world is coming to an end.
Anyway, back to the worst of 2019 in Great Britain. Okay, alright. Let's bring up the stabbings. How many were there about in the London area alone?
Yes.
Do you mean how many were admitted or how many actually happened? The number is vastly different.
Well, the numbers that they admit to are pretty horrific, isn't it? Aren't they?
Not in comparison to the number that they don't admit to. I know this because there's a little area, a borough called Penge, not necessarily that far away from me. And, well, we look, because let's be honest, we looked at the news quite a bit, looking at the various stabbings and whatnot that have happened in London. And they said that there'd only been 2 that day, one in Stockwell, one somewhere else. I found out about 3 in Penge on that day. Was it reported? No. I wonder why. Just think carefully why they might not report some random stabbings.
Oh, because that'd make it look like that there was more stabbings than what they were saying. And we can't have that now, can we?
Well,
That and the fact it was Muzzies doing the stabbing. Oh,
yeah, ethnic diversity
all right.
is the issue, right?
Oh, yeah. By the way, Farty, Dodge has already put out his warning, so you can say whatever you want, and he's going to be fine with it.
Because it's going to reflect on me. So go for it.
Oh, the Dodger's warning isn't actually like what he actually believes. He's not really in that one.
He said anything that comes out on the stream isn't his fault. It's not. It doesn't represent him. It all represents MC. So it's all on me. I got broad shoulders. Bring it.
You big girl's blouse. There.
But going back to attempting to keep the stories as they're meant to be. Okay, things that went well. Well, let's start with probably the most important. Everyone in Britain realised exactly how much of a cunt Corbyn actually is. Yes, I actually said
Finally.
it.
Finally.
Yeah, it's brilliant. I actually don't care how our Prime Minister is. We've realised that no matter how bad things could get, Corbyn would be worse. I mean, come on. Okay, I love Boris Johnson. He is hilarious. Absolutely great guy. But we voted that as our Prime Minister rather than Corbyn. That should give you a clue how low we think of Corbyn.
Well, okay, but you say that, and I don't disagree with your characterization of the individual, right? But there's still a lot of people. I mean, he's still considered the leader of the Labour Party even today, right?
How am I going to put this?
That's why the Labour Party's dying.
No, I won't bother with politely. Corbyn is a bit like herpes. You think you've got rid of it, but it just comes back worse and even more toxic.
Okay,
I've never heard of herpes supporting the IRA.
hey, Jensen, even you too, Yorkie. Here's a really perplexing question for you. It's going to be one of the toughest decisions you'll probably ever make. Who would you rather as a Prime Minister, Jeremy Corbyn or Piers Morgan?
Piers Morgan.
Piers.
Oh shit, that was way easier than I thought it would
be. They didn't even stutter.
I was expecting you to make it someone interesting. You know, who would you prefer, Corbyn or Hitler? Well, I'm walking around with a new little moustache. Let's put it that way. Okay.
I just ironed my brand new uniform that I've definitely not been hiding for years.
So what you're saying is that the difference between Corbyn and Hitler is the fact that Hitler made the trains run on time?
Hitler was efficient. Hitler was honest. No, okay, first of all, the next series of comments out of my mouth, I'm actually going to vaguely defend myself here. I'm not saying this because I'm actually promoting Hitler. I'm saying this because I'm pointing out that Corbyn would be worse. Hitler said he was going to get rid of a large amount of the Jews. He succeeded. Corbyn, he can't even get the Jews out of his own fucking party. Come on.
I'm not sure how that's going to play in Piccadilly there.
No. See, like Hitler is what America needs right now, because if under Hitler you'd have a very, very strong military, you'd have lots of fundage going to your rocketry and stuff like that. Your medical science will improve in leaps and bounds. What else would happen?
There'd be an absolute load less Mexicans in America.
Yes,
you said about medical. You said about medical. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, migration will be sorted. See, it's not that much of a battle.
Into America has dropped significantly, so there is that.
No Hitler, and 1 minute until it's 2020 for you, Jensen.
Yep, I know. I'm keeping an eye on it. Oh God, you never know. We might get lucky and actually all die this year.
Oh, by the way, Jensen, just before you hit 2020, the world ends. The fucking demons rise up. Cthulhu's trampling everything. We're all gonna die.
Good.
What are those lights in the sky, guys?
Omegon will be happy.
Actually, that's a terrifying thought. He would, wouldn't he?
Doomcock will be like, "Who released Harvey?"
Nah, actually, here's what's really happening in the future. All the porn stars have gotten together and decided that they're going to give all the blokes of the world freebies for the next 10 years.
That explains why you're happy. Okay.
We had people promising that. Madonna promised that. No one took her up on it.
Happy New Year, guys. It's landed. We've made it. Okay,
Are
the
the-
rest of you are allowed to actually have a new year now, so it's okay. Carry on.
Well, no,
Fluffy.
okay, so in New York, the ball fucking drops and they spend a bunch of money they don't have on it. What do you guys do in London? Fireworks?
No, one sec. Sorry. You mentioned about the ball dropping. Did you say that the Dodgers were from New York? Because they're always dropping the ball. Yes,
Who
I
let
got there
Batman
first.
on this stream? What?
No. Fuck you, Batman. I got there first.
The
I
first,
done
the first
the
insult
first
of
one.
the first insult of 2020 for Jensen comes down.
It's not even a minute past.
You're welcome.
Comes out swinging this year.
I would say well played, but then again,
Easy target. Another thing that the Dodgers never actually say.
you sure you want to
Anything,
continue this
Dodge?
stream?
You know, normally you come back with the Brexit comments, so
You know,
bring it.
right now he's wishing for the asteroid.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the drone I sent to handle business.
Activate mission Alpha 99 MC. Return target. So, if Dodge suddenly cuts off halfway through the stream, we know what's happened.
Either that or his kids got loose.
Oh, Operation Return to Sender.
Oh, God.
Wouldn't
Right,
that? Do
so-
you think that was the biggest nightmare the Unabomber ever had? Was a package being sent back?
That would have been so funny. That would have been a dark, karmic response. I like it. That would be funny.
But the return address was freaking CNN headquarters.
Bonus. I'm still in a win-win here, so waiting for the bad parts of it. Can't find any. Oh no, CNN would be wiped out. How would we get our honest and truthful news now?
I'm impressed, Jensen. You said that without laughing.
Thank you, thank you.
Fireworks or gunshots going to Bradford.
Yes. I told you guys, honestly, I'm genuinely waiting for the space aliens to come down and wipe us out. Today is a good day.
Jensen will be walking around. There's one. Get him. He'll be helping him. Here,
Yep.
here. Let me show you around.
Fuck yeah. My cult has been here for a reason. Targeting purposes.
And Voice is in the chat. He says Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's, Voice.
Happy New Year's, boys.
Happy New Year's to you.
But
Happy
you never
Stevie.
answered. Like, what do you guys do? Do you guys have a big New Year's Eve thing in London, or is that just another guy got stabbed?
Actually, it's a mix of the two. It's several people got stabbed, and we actually let off enough fireworks to re-toxic the Thames. So we're good. Okay, we definitely have a light show going on up London.
Ah. Okay. Question.
Now, I'm not-
Question for you.
Yeah.
Do you guys just kind of like listen for the screams coming from Germany as the women get raped?
Wow. I'd like to bring back up my disclaimer. Oh
But
shit.
Dodge, you was the one that wanted us on. Okay, you've obviously missed my delicate, polite, and oh so etiquette conversations. I never say anything bad.
The dulcet tones.
Well, I'm wondering, does the screams from the rapes in Germany echo off of the white flags of France? Is that how they get the effect?
Yeah, pretty much. depending on the way the wind's flapping, it gets a different sort of pitch, so you can start making guesses on what they're actually doing to them.
That's actually the Swedes.
That's true. That's true.
When the wind shifts, you can hear the Swedes. Sometimes it's hard to tell the difference.
So, yes. What else are we taking a piss out of? Come
Well,
on, Dodge. You're in charge, yeah?
Yeah, no, Yorkie. What's some of the worst stories out of the UK of 2019? We've covered just a few so far, not very many.
Jeremy Corbyn hasn't been raped to death yet.
He considers this a bad thing, folks.
It is. I even sent for the space aid specially for him.
See, these guys, apparently Jensen and Yorkie have a voodoo doll with Corbyn in it, and they keep putting in pins, and he's just not screaming loud enough.
Oh, I'm not putting in pins, I'm putting in a K-bar.
I mean, you did prevent him from getting elected, right? You
You're
should
welcome.
be happy about that.
Hey, we stopped the left. You're welcome.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're probably going to re-elect them.
Oh, I know. I've seen Shirati coming up with her smart-ass comments about the British. Nowadays, it's simple. Yeah, and how are things going to go in your country when the Dems get in? Oh, right. Because she goes back shit.
But we'll talk about the U.S. when New Year's rolls around.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Mad Dodgers is trying to keep that in reserve, hoping somehow our YouTube masters don't actually catch us.
Oh, well,
What America
yeah.
doesn't realize, guys, what America doesn't realize is that the world actually comes to an end in 25 minutes. We're just keeping the sound effects going to pretend. Keep quiet, Farty. They're not to know.
So, I don't know. The censorship in the UK, but that's been building for, what, 3 or 4 years now?
Yeah. We have a little bit of censorship. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's not like there's a major American company working with China doing this. Oh, that's right. Google. Oh, perhaps I should go quiet there.
As we're on the Google product itself. Well, out
It's your stream, dude.
Well, you be nice to the Google overlords.
But the thing that the other thing was, what was that? It wasn't just the the censorship. You guys had a major Supreme Court ruling that was just absolutely ridiculous.
Pick one.
The one where they overturned the proroguing of Parliament.
Oh, that. Yeah, that was that was fascinating. So basically, the ruling group, the Parliament, now has to obey the courts when it comes to when they do and don't turn up. It's not like that's going to go badly anywhere now, is it?
Well, and that's a horrifying event, because at that point your courts are no longer determining and judging on the merits of the law. They've given that up. They're just basically going, okay, we're going to decide what your laws are and what they actually mean.
I'm beginning to think what happened was a bunch of judges were sitting around watching TV. They looked at the crap that America's up to, and they looked at each other and went, hold my beer. And now we've got this. Aren't we lucky? Then again, haven't you lot got something sort of similar with the crap show that's going? No, that's America. We'll deal with that later.
We'll talk about America when America's turn arrives.
Yeah.
because
You're
if you want to talk about hold your beer.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I can't even begin to imagine how bad some of the things that are going on over there.
Oh,
And
2020.
Dodge has lost his
I have a great fear for what's going to happen to us in 2020. I'm not as sanguine as everyone else is about how it's all going to turn out. Things can turn on a single event.
Yeah,
but that's us. So, didn't you guys cancel your second carrier? Weren't you supposed to be building another carrier and you guys turned it down or something?
Yep, we can't afford it. It's bad, isn't it?
We've got to give benefits to all the rapists.
That is true, actually. Yeah. No, that's it. I've worked out. We build the ship. We say that it's a rape hotel. They all go onto it, and we sink the fucking thing. Who's with me?
Yep.
No one.
I'm with that. I'm with that one.
Dodge is wondering if he's going to have a stream by tomorrow.
The thing is they you have to tell them that you're going to sail it someplace better. Where would they go? There has to be some kind of inducement to get them on the ship.
No, easy. Ready? Michiganistan. We're going to park there. They'll feel at home with all the rest of their people.
You've got to go. You're going to travel up the Hudson, are you? You're going to climb Niagara Falls. We'll get there one way or the other.
Well, yeah. I mean, we might as well. Dodge was saying about bringing back slavery. I'm sending over some people to you, mate. Oh, I weren't meant to say that while we was live, was we? Oops. So, ladies and gentlemen, if this is the last time that Mad Dodge Productions is allowed on the air, we just want you to know we're having fun. Screw Google.
And if you can't take a joke, well, then you just cancel us. We're not surprised.
If you can't take let's be fair, mate. If they can't take a joke, they're obviously in Scotland.
Well, that's a good point. That is a very good point.
When did that happen? And what I mean by that, when did the Scottish become a bunch of pansy-ass bitches?
Yes.
1700s. Oh, I shouldn't say that. That's rude. More like 16s. Anyway, they've always been pansies, dude. I mean, I don't want to break this to you, but
yeah, the whole Scottish natural-born warriors it's just a load of Hollywood bollocks.
Yeah. When was the last time you heard about the Great Empire of Scotland? In fact, when was the last time you heard anything good about Scotland?
Well, technically, they did have an empire. It was literally
what about everything they invent?
That was made by a British woman.
Don't you technically have a Scottish king on your throne or queen on your throne?
German.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. You're Hanoverians. You got rid of that guy. My mistake.
Yep. That's okay, mate. We had a choice of leaving a Scot up there or going for the Nazis. Oh well.
So you're the lesser of two evils is what you chose. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
And just think, ladies and gentlemen, they chose that over the Puritans because the Puritans had to come to America.
We're not taking piss out of America yet. Oh, that's a good point, actually. As we've got an Antipodean person of non-existence, does that mean we get to talk about the New Zealand shooting yet, or are we saving that for later?
It's up to you.
You might as well talk about it now.
Yeah.
We've already mentioned it. The water's already over the dam. Let's go.
And don't forget, Mad, it's MC's fault.
Of course it's my fault.
Yeah.
It's going to be my fault when we talk about Star Wars, too.
Okay, Farty, fine. What happened in that situation besides he tried to blame PewDiePie for shits and giggles? I mean...
Well, can't remember the bastard's name because they didn't really report it enough for it to get hammered into my memory. And my memory's fucked anyways. But well beforehand, while he was still living in Australia, he was a member of the Sporting Shooters Association, or the SSAA, and they've got several rifle ranges around the state. And he was way down south at one point, and the way he was acting at this particular rifle range, it freaked out all the locals to the point where they've rung the cops on him and said, "Listen, you got to check this bloke out. He's not right in the fucking head. We don't think he should be around guns." To which the police have replied, "Oh, it's blah blah town. You know, people are just like that. You know." So they had the chance to fucking sort this bloke out well before. But anyway, so he goes to New Zealand. And he loads up on semi-automatic rifles and shotguns and stuff like that. And he walks into a mosque and he guns a whole bunch of people down whilst mentioning rather deflammatory things and things that he knew were going to be, you know, messing with people's heads. Like, you know, what the fuck has PewDiePie got to do with all of this? I mean, honestly. Like, he just said that just for shits and giggles, knowing that, like, all these dumb shit noobs that don't know anything about the internet go, "What's a PewDiePie? And what are they going to do next?" You know, kind of thing. So then the stupid bloody thing that looks like that she's been fucking finger fucked by an elephant in the face, their Prime Minister, Jacinta. She's gonna ban all the guns. She bans all the guns. Oh, she bans all the guns. Oh, yay for her. Everybody praise Jacinta because she banned all the guns. Only now, after a fucking massacre, after there's been how many fucking massacres in America and how many fucking massacres in Australia and how many fucking massacres everywhere else and all this kind of shit. And she's the last one to fucking do it after there's a fucking massacre in her own bloody country. No, sorry, Jacinta. You fucking failed, darling. All these dead people said that you failed. Yeah, so that's basically what happened.
Well, it don't count as Muslims.
Well, what I find interesting is that you're banning guns, but you're putting up welcome signs in front of live active volcanoes and saying, "Look, it's children's land."
Well, what's even further surprising to me is that if a Kiwi comes to Australia, he basically can't get a firearm until he becomes a citizen. He's been here for God knows how long, and even then he's got to go through a stringent process to get a license. Over there, he was over there on a friggin' tourist visa, and he bought these bloody things. He purchased them. Didn't hire them or anything, steal them out of a gun range. He went as a tourist and bloody bought the damn thing. How fucking flimsy are their gun laws?
Well, are gun laws ever going to fix any of this stuff? Let's be honest.
Well, no, gun laws don't fix any of it. Matter of fact, only criminals get guns. I mean, I know that's the slogan for, like, the NRA, but goddamn if it's not true. Like, fucking hell. If a dude's gonna murder somebody, he's already gonna murder them. He'll buy a gun illegally, or he'll strangle them. You're gonna outlaw rope? How about hammers? How about we outlaw them? What about nail guns? I mean, I can think of all sorts of ways to kill a person.
Well, what about knives? Oh, they already tried that in London. My mistake.
Well, you see, the thing of it is that fucking there's been no registration in New Zealand. I think from memory, registration of firearms was voluntary. So there are all of these, like, you're going to find this out, and the Kiwis are going to find this out because we've already done it here with our U-Butte fucking gun laws and buybacks and fucking hand-ins and no questions asked and all this kind of stuff, right? When they're now banning all of these bloody guns, right, all of these unregistered firearms, I know for a fact the Kiwis have already put a shit ton of them in the ground in various places all over the joint, on people's farms and stuff like that, and they'll hand in only a handful just to make it look like, oh yeah, we're complying, right? And there's so many unregistered firearms there, the police will never know how many is still left over, and they'll still have buybacks after buybacks after buybacks because the people who have the guns now, when they get old and die, the people will find them in roof cavities and fucking on properties and stuff like that, and they may be digging it up to develop it later on. And oh, where'd all these guns come from? Oh shit! And then, like, so all these, like, we've had 2 buybacks already, and thousands of thousands of guns that simply shouldn't exist in the country anymore got handed in. And then they did a whole bunch of raids on places. They got something like 13,000 more fucking guns that simply shouldn't exist in the country because they should have already been handed in twice. So these things don't work. The Kiwis are going to find this out. And when the same thing, if they ever do try and get all the guns out of America, there are so many unregistered firearms out there, so many ghost guns and stuff like that, that people have already got so many fucking weapons in the ground. It's not fucking funny. You'll never get them all.
What are you going to do what are they going to do when the, I mean, let's be honest. For you to build, if you wanted to build a firearm today, all right, for $500, you can buy the equipment necessary, all right, to quickly build a firearm.
Mm.
All right, you can buy the milling equipment, you can buy the freaking lathing equipment. It isn't that difficult to do. All right, there's plenty of tutorials all over the place that will show you how to do all this stuff. So if people wanted to build their own weapons systems, it's like it's already ready made, and this is before we go the next step, which is they're talking about 3D printing with metal, which is kind of a neat technique.
Hardware store, $50 shotgun.
You know, I mean, then that's simple stuff like that. You know, I was talking about like an automatic weapon you could just turn very quickly on a mill and a lathe. It's not that it's that difficult. But what I do find amusing is that when you talk about buybacks, I just go back to the London mayor's buyback when he bought back knives and got a spoon.
Oh, that was that was a thing.
We're buying back knives. Can I turn in my spoon?
I can't remember.
And they actually showed it. Like they were proudly showing what they got. And there's a spoon sitting there. Now think of that. The police are going, these are all the weapons that have been turned in, and there's spoons listed.
Well, no, and what lazy bastard just grabbed a spoon that way they can get 10 pounds? I mean, dude, at least make a prison shank. Like, what are you doing?
No, be an ultimate smart ass. Be an ultimate smart ass and do a wooden spoon.
Now, I've always said wooden spoons are always good. Plastic spoons are better. They shatter when they go in.
Are you guys allowed to have plastic in your country?
Yeah, we're not America.
Oh, well, plastic's allowed in America, just not in some states, Oregon.
Oh, don't get me started, dude. Don't get me started. Midnight my time. Plastic bags are banned from grocery stores. But, you know, only the stuff you put your food in. You can still buy garbage bags and Ziploc baggies and everything else.
Floating above Oregon will be the giant smiling face of Greta.
The climate change goblin.
All hail the queen of the goblins.
How dare you? Yeah, and we have to pay 5 cents per paper bag. And Oregon, it rains a lot. So, you know, those poor homeless people everybody cares about, buying their little bit of groceries and paying for the paper bag and walking to their campsite in the pouring rain, that paper bag's going to rip.
So we did the same thing out here this year and, last year. Last year for me now, no Americans.
You know what? It's always nice to have the disembodied voice from nowhere that doesn't really exist, the land that doesn't exist. Come talk and lecture to us.
Oh, well, bloody. So when Coles and Woolworths, the two big food chains out here, went and did it, they just basically did it overnight and said, now you got to buy fucking $3 reusable bags and stuff like that. And don't forget to bring them and all this. Well, I got a memory problem. So every time I go up to the local Coles, there was this big sign on the door, like they'd done it at A4 pages, like a letter per page. Did you remember your bags? I'm like, oh, there's no point fucking asking me that now. But the instant they got rid of the plastic bags, right, the free plastic bags, fucking everyone complained because no one had any bags, and it was like, fucking it seemed like a bit of a gouge, like, $3 a bag. So they brought back these reusable heavy duty plastic shopping bags that had bloody Coles printed all over them and all this kind of stuff, and then fucking what happened there? Yeah, that's right, bloody. They were saying like they're reusable. So within like 5 minutes, and I'm thinking this is a bit bullshit because I kind of think it happened a bit too quickly. But fucking within like 5 minutes of these bags that the 15 cents a throw, were first issued out. Within 15 minutes, right, there was like reports of fucking the Bolivian fucking flapping bird on the Patagonian coast fucking choking on one of these things and all this. I'm like, huh? They've only just been released. Furthermore, I'm all the way over here in bumfuck fucking New South Wales. I put my shit in a rubbish bin that goes into a truck that goes to a local tip. If my fucking plastic bag is ending up in some fucking Nazi penguin from fucking northeast fucking Alaska's fucking guts, that's not my fucking problem. Don't fucking blame me for that.
I've been waiting for you to stop talking. I can just see you. You're like, son of a bitch, I forgot my bags. You drive all the way home, and then you get home, you're like, why the fuck did I drive here? I meant to go grocery shopping. So you drive back to the fucking store, son of a bitch. And yeah, you're like the blonde and just going back and forth.
Yeah. My laziness would preclude me from doing that, unfortunately. That's why I look at the sign and just go, fuck. Oh, well, I'm getting more bags then, aren't I?
They pulled the same sort of shit in Britain. Now, apparently, there's no such thing as a free plastic bag. You've got to pay like 10 pence for a crappy piece of rubbish plastic bag, or you walk into the newsagents next door and ask one of their bags, buy a can, say, can I have it in a bag, please? Free bag, wallop. So basically, we've got an arse ton of blue plastic bags rather than an arse ton of clear plastic bags. That is literally the difference.
Yeah,
that's also
the corporations have to do it. Like all the small package shop owners, they don't follow laws anyway.
Yeah, that was also the argument with the Coles and Woolworths bags was that like, everyone was using the old single-use bags as rubbish bags as well. Like, they were handy little garbage bags to have around the house, little trash bags. And that was the big argument. It's like, oh, what are we going to use for trash bags now? And fucking, but no, they're reusables. So don't use them as trash bags. Don't throw them out. It was like, oh no, fuck that. So that's how everyone started throwing them out, though. Like everyone ended up do throw them out. Like we've got tons of them around here because I hardly throw anything out because I'm fucking lazy. But yeah, and another thing that also suffered as well was in local communities. There's local community centres, and they usually have like welfare programs and stuff like that, and they get most of their donations. Like there's few and far between. Like, and one thing I know about my local one is that they were screaming for fucking plastic bags and stuff like that. So when people came in asking for like food packages and shit, they got bags to put them in. Because I donated, like when I lost my business, I donated all the plastic bags that I had left to them. They were quite thankful. There's only a few fucking packets of them, so didn't bother me. Fuck it. What am I going to do? Resell them on eBay? So, but when these reusable bags came along, fucking their bag supply dried up. So now they're bumming for plastic bags too.
Bad, isn't it? Well, it was a nice idea, but they really didn't think it through.
It's not a nice idea. It's a lazy idea for people looking for just an easy solution rather than simple solutions. And that's one of the problems that always drives me crazy with these freaking lunatic green Nazis. You know, they come back and go, well, you know, we got this solution and it'll be easy for everybody to deal with, but it's going to screw everything up. Yeah, but it's easy. It'll fix things, but it isn't going to fix anything. No, but it'll fix things. At least we tried. You see the goblin crying now. At least they tried. I can't wait to her when she turns 50, right? And all the kids are pointing at her, going, "How dare you!" And she's responding, "At least I tried."
Oh, I forgot, right? Yeah, she has to go deal with people her own age who are probably way better on the internet than her. And, that poor child.
Celebrity. I mean, let's be honest. She's never going to have to ever find out what adversity is because she'll be protected. She'll probably end up dead of a drug overdose by the time she's 20.
Yeah.
I'm not wishing that on her. I'm just saying the road that they've got her on, they're going to use her like a freaking dried, like a lemon. They're going to squeeze her until there's nothing left but a rind, and then she's going to have to try and figure out the rest of her life. All right, when no one really cares about her, and will she be able to handle it, or will she go down the road of a lot of these freaking high price celebrities where they end up offing themselves with drugs and everything else? That's the track. That's the treadmill they had that poor girl on.
Yeah. And are we going to mention the fact that when they put up a huge mural of her, they hadn't painted her hair on, and it looked like Putin? It really did. No, honestly, I looked at it and I'm like, why is Canada putting a picture of, oh, Jesus. Oh, wow. I mean, now we know what happened. She is the love child of Putin and memes.
Oh, jeez. Oh, dearest Christ. Oh, fuck. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, I just saw the other half of that one. Oh, fuck. Oh, I instantly thought, okay, memes is the bitch in that relationship. Oh, hang on. But what if Putin? No, shit. No. I just saw that. Oh, fuck.
You're welcome, guys. You're welcome.
It burns. It burns.
Oh, fuck. Thanks, Jensen. I didn't sleep enough as it is.
Well done. Wasn't this what you wanted me back on your shows for my humorous and subtle commentary? I managed to drop the Aussie. Come on.
Oh, well, I'm going back to drinking.
Yeah, that resolution didn't last long.
Well, you gotta find some way to try to erase that mental picture that came along.
Yep.
Where it's memes when you need him.
Oh, God, wouldn't it be so cool if he'd have come on? Oh, yeah.
Do you think he would have said, "I like Putin"?
That's the thing.
I like Putin.
I like Vladimir.
Oh, shit.
He doesn't call him Vladimir. Good.
Senpai.
Get that mention in your head as well, won't you there? Yes.
It could be worse. No, I'm just.
So did I? It could be worse. Oh no, you have my attention. How could it be worse?
Hentai, tentacle porn.
Oh.
No. German Scheiße porn.
Crossbreed the two. Have a nice day.
Add Merkel's
with
DNA. I mean, we got a plan here, folks. Where's the Chinese when you need them? Where the hell are they?
and an Iraqi donkey.
Why are you that cruel? What did the donkey ever do to you?
I don't know, but I know what Merkel would be doing to the donkey.
Fair point.
Hi, brother. Never mind. I mean,
so, who haven't
It
we
come-
insulted recently?
It comes preloaded with Iraqi DNA.
Ah, dear.
Okay, so predictions for 2020, Jensen. Specifically to the UK. I'll start. I think the Queen won't live out through 2020. I think you're gonna lose the Queen.
I think that if that happens, Charles will have a car accident about 8 seconds before we admit that the Queen's dead.
on his way to see her at the hospital. Is that what you're saying, Jensen?
The amber,
no, yeah.
the amber will actually accidentally hit him.
Yeah.
I think everyone would willingly turn a blind eye to it.
Turn a blind eye, we'll be cheering.
You'll be blaming Philip. He had to go too.
Yeah, all his minders would be looking the other direction, and unfortunately, there'll be an electrical fault with all the cameras. I was doing quite.
They hired the Epstein crew. What was that?
Yeah.
Well, they
I
did
was
just
gonna
get
say,
fired
what
from the
did they
jail,
do?
didn't they?
Fair point, sir. Fair point.
Okay, so
And I actually agree.
We've taken care of that. So, honestly, though, do you think that that if she did abdicate, that would Charles actually step up, or would they force him to abdicate?
Oh, hang on.
It would
Before
be
you answer
both.
that,
Yep.
I have to change my old statement there. They didn't just get fired from the jail. It was more like they finished their contract. I mean, they got fired from the jail.
Anyway, back to the statement.
Yeah. What will... okay. At my opinion, and yeah, for once I'm actually putting that in just to be nice, what I can actually see happening is that the Queen dies, he steps up, is the king for about 3 seconds, then hands it on to William anyway. Because he's going to have to move away because he's getting too old, or pick an excuse, let's be completely honest. And it will be handed on to William, and William will become our king. I'm still hoping that Harry gets hit in the back of the head, works out what he's married to, Diana's her, and then gets himself a proper British woman. Then we can
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
What?
Yes. No, yes, you're right. Keep going.
he
Carry
then
on,
wipes
I'm
out. He wipes out William and takes over as king, and we get Henry the Ninth. Can you
Lionheart.
imagine?
Oh, no. Henry the Ninth, lion face.
Yeah.
But William, is William that bad?
No, Harry's just really, really, really good. He's just a really great guy.
Yes, he is.
Well, okay, but you don't wish anything necessarily ill on William, because William isn't the kind of asshole, is he?
No.
Pretty straightforward.
William's a brilliant fellow. He's a really fucking genuine person. He's rescued fucking thousands of people on his own behalf and all this. He's fucking donated his time as CSC rescue and all this kind of shit. Done some really fucking dangerous things, put his life on the line for lots and lots and lots of people, fucking in bad weather and shit like that, flying helicopters and whatnot. Fucking, he's a fucking genuinely fucking brilliant person himself, but fucking Harry's even better.
Yes. Okay,
Wait,
Harry.
no, wait, no. You want to kill the fucking American bitch? Why? What's up with
She's a
that?
cunt. She's a cunt. She's a cunt. She can just fuck right off. She's a fucking smear on the fucking family. I tell you that. She is just
Yes.
not because she's fucking dark skinned or anything like that. Not just because she's an American. Just because she's just not fucking royal breed. She is just so common. It's not fucking funny. She's beyond fucking peasant. Like she's just.
Holy shit! Do you hear these fuckers, MC?
No. She's fucking things up so bad. People refuse to work with her. People have quit fucking very, very prestigious jobs in the royal family over her. Fucking the royal family themselves fucking hate her. Fucking the Queen fucking really bloody hates her. Fucking. You know, I can't wait to hear Phil fucking what he's going to say, you know, fucking the Duke of Edinburgh, like, you know, all about the darkie in the family. You know, bloody... nah, fucking...
That's why I love
she doesn't follow protocol. She's breaking a lot of rules. She's associating with people that haven't been properly vetted through the royal family and all this kind of stuff.
Wait, associated with people? Holy shit!
Hang on. No. This is the reason why they get vetted through the palace is because fucking she ends up fucking associating with criminal fucking elements and shit like that. And look what's happening with fucking Andrew at the moment.
Criminal elements? That she meets the Queen. She's associated with a criminal element. Oh, did I say that out loud?
No. These charities that she's been advocating for have been done for fraud and shit like that. So you know.
Okay. Jeffrey Epstein? Does this ring a bell? Somebody that was vetted for you guys? The Royals vetted Epstein. Now, what more do you want?
Yeah, well,
And who is that one dude? He was on TV a bunch. Who was that guy that hung out with the Queen a lot and diddled children?
Hang on. Okay, how do you think fucking Epstein met Andrew? It would have been through some investment fucking meeting fucking bloody transaction, right? So he would have been vetted all the way back then. It would have been later on that he found out about Pedophile Island and fucking his New York apartment and 14-year-old girls and all that kind of shit.
Okay, but no, real quick, MC. Real quick, I have to. When it was great, though, Farty, great rant. But, like, could you sound any more like a fucking Duke or some shit? Like, she is so below them. She's a fucking dirty peasant. I'm like, holy shit! What the fuck is going on?
I called the royal family for a reason.
Now, I'd like to respond to Mad, if that's okay. Just take one thing, yeah? You're saying that that's really bad. I'm going to remind you, he comes from an island that we dropped off all the prisoners on, and we still consider her lower. Just think about that.
Now, here's another thing, Dodge. You all, MC and Jensen, you'll probably remember this because it wasn't that long ago. There was a time when, especially when you were getting brought up, that you don't talk shit about the royal family. They have the ultimate respect, never question them, what they say goes and all this, even the ludicrous shit like the sun will never set on the Empire and fucking, the Queen doesn't shit, you know, even the Kim Jong-il kind of stuff, you know, the Queen doesn't shit or piss or fucking have to eat or anything like that, and you find out she eats one. But like, you know, ultimate respect. You never fucking question the Queen. You never turn your back on her. You know,
I'll piss in her general direction. I don't give
You're
two
not going to
shits.
turn your back on her because she'll put a knife in your back.
Wait,
Talking about knives.
No, you
Matt
even walk
Barkley
backwards out of the room.
Yeah, Farty, Matt Barkley has asked you to say something very specific. You might see it on your screen.
That isn't a knife. This is a knife.
You're welcome, Matt.
Okay, is it because I'm an American and we're like, we fuck all that aristocrat fucking English fucking bullshit, but holy fuck did you sound like an aristocrat.
Well,
You guys
no.
actually made me defend Meghan Markle. I think she's an absolute atrocious human being, and you actually made me support her. Good God, what's wrong with you people? No wonder we left the Empire.
No, look into it. Look into it.
You guys, you traitors wouldn't understand it.
I mean, there's even a conspiracy about fucking like a Michelle Obama type of conspiracy that the fucking baby that she had's pregnant, right? There's photos that sort of show that she's wearing a fucking a fake hump, and there's other photos that when the kid was born that it looks like they've come out and it's a fucking doll. And there's conspiracies because apparently, as of yesterday, the baby hasn't been seen in several weeks and all this kind of shit, and they don't even think it exists still.
Oh, well, the Queen ate the baby. We already know what happened.
I'm waiting for that.
They reckon there was a surrogate and something's now happened with the surrogate. The surrogate wants to keep it or some shit like that, or and all this. It's like. Yeah, there's even there's I think this year fucking Harry is gonna fucking give her the boot too. I heard that from somewhere. That like the rest of the family's just gonna pull Harry aside and say, "Listen,
so your
mate, you gotta
prediction
fuck her
is
off."
that Harry's gonna divorce Markle.
Yeah.
Okay,
They're
that could totally be your prediction, but I just imagine Farty is like calling up the palace. Yeah, I need to talk to the cook on third shift. Oh, he's gonna leave her? No shit.
No, the royal family, the rest of the family, they're just gonna pull Harry aside and say, "Listen, mate, you got to fuck her off." Piss her off or abdicate, mate. Bloody get out of the family.
Holy shit.
Dodge, I'm going to remind you, King Edward, he lasted for a while once he set up with an American, didn't he? Oh, yeah, that's right.
Well, that had more to do with the fact that he was praising Hitler at the time.
The good old
That
days.
was...
Yeah, don't blame the American. What the fuck?
But I think Harry will fucking more likely divorce as opposed to abdicate because there's already signs of rifts and shit like that. There was one fucking sporting event that they went to. I can't remember what it was, and they were seen having a visible fucking argument. Like he was visibly pissed off. She wouldn't shut up. And he's just like, you can see him like visibly like mouthing like he's yelling at her and shit like that. And there's people looking back up at them and down at them and shit like that and fucking, trying to see what's going on. So like, yeah, there's rifts already. Honeymoon's over.
I'd like to make a minor point, if I may. Farty, it's a good idea, but I don't know if you heard about this, but apparently in February they're going on a trip to Paris. Apparently there's a panel who wants to show up.
You guys are
Wait, no, don't go to Paris. No. Like, oh man, this can't go good.
Guys.
Hey, is it a one-way ticket to France? Is there a night at the Ritz and the chauffeur drive home?
No. There's the helicopter waiting and the SAS are ready.
Oh, look, it's the paparazzi, really.
Hey, what's that red dot in your forehead, Megan? When did you do the Indian thing? What red dot?
I know she tripped and fell onto a nice pick.
She obviously stumbled. What can we say? Accidents happen.
55 times?
Well, in all fairness, the truth is her security guard had a misfire. We'd believe that, except for one thing. He reloaded.
Well, that was one thing that she did. She pissed off Palace fucking security because she wouldn't follow the instructions of her fucking bodyguards and stuff like that. She just kept on running off without them and fucking, bloody trying to get indoors first where other people and all this kind of was supposed to get in and all this, and the bodyguards just get out of the road. He's fucking going in first, you dickhead.
Oh, good grief! It's a sad day when they make me defend Meghan Markle because she is. I mean, you guys made me defend her, so I'm not going to say it.
No, man. You got to look into her, man. She is just so fucking fake.
I know all about her. I know what she's like. We have a term here in America, all right, for women like that. Okay, but I'll tell you right now, the way you guys approach that, it's like, okay, yeah, but holy crap, you guys.
Do you get the hint?
I cannot tell you guys.
It's such an affront to tradition. No. It's such an affront to everything. Such an affront to everything that's every soul being of the whole fucking history.
You guys are angrier at her and her uncouthness than you are with the fact that you're losing your rights for freedom of speech.
We'll get onto that later.
I know, right? Like, seriously, they're like, this American bitch. I'm like, holy fuck. Is that how they talk about us when we're not around?
Well, I kind of took that as a given, considering who I am. But that's a separate issue entirely.
It'd be like me, right, fucking becoming president of the United States and installing a sink in the Oval Office so I didn't have to walk all the way to the toilet to go take a fucking piss, right? Fucking, and then say, oh, no, it's all right, it's my traditions and shit like that, hey, yeah, fucking...
Also, because of her, there's going to be a lot of Yankee, Amerimos going, we was kangs and shit.
Yeah.
Wait, it's not like she fucking invited Snoop Dogg to the fucking palace to hang out and rap for the Queen. What the fuck are you guys talking about?
You don't know
here?
she's done that, to be honest.
Oh, god damn it.
That's why I had all of her requests denied. That's probably why.
I can just see Snoop. Yo, Queen bitch, want to smoke a blunt?
He would never be allowed anywhere near her.
That's fair, but she would then also remind him how much of the planet she actually owned, or at least her family did. She's got her own weed, man. Trust me.
We are
I
not
heard
used.
your grandparents. Fuck you, you little bastard.
This stream took an odd turn. This stream actually took an odd turn where I'm actually on the side of Mad Dodge. I mean, it's just amazing to see what you guys have accomplished.
Do you wish to give up your MC?
No, there's no freaking way, you guys. Come on. I mean,
I didn't know you liked
be-
that
she
fucking
might
TV
be-
show. I didn't know
she
you
might
liked that.
Okay.
She might be horrible. She might be an SJW. And Harry might have picked her up in Las Vegas on a bender. Okay.
Okay, MC. Right. We'll try this then. She's a fuckwit that breaks tradition, and she's anti-gun.
I
So
know. Look, there's a lot to dislike about Meghan, but
Hang on.
But just because she breaks tradition the way you guys talk about it, it's just
No,
like
hang on,
holy cow.
Yeah, like no, but like he's another tradition that she fucking broke because she's anti-gun. Was every bloody Christmas, right? The whole family go out on a quail hunt, or was it a fox hunt?
Oh, fox hunt.
Fox hunt. So fucking poor bloody Harry couldn't go on the traditional fucking royal fox hunt last year because Meghan doesn't like guns and hurting animals.
Okay, now while we're talking about fox hunting, and
Kate went. Kate fucking went with a dirty, great big fucking smile on her face and gigantically hard fucking nipples. Well, I couldn't say she had a stiffy.
Fair point.
somebody in the family needed to be.
See, this is why we love Kate. I mean, like, unfortunately, probably, like I said, William's a fucking wonderful person and all this kind of stuff. But he's just as good as Harry, but not as good as Harry. But Kate is a fucking.
All right. You guys say that he's not as good as Harry, and yet you take a look at who picked who. Now, let's be honest here. I would say that Harry's decision-making capabilities have something to be desired.
Yeah, no. Well, when fucking William married bloody Kate, fucking he was like, Harry was busy being in the army, so he was kind of a bit busy. But fucking Kate is the absolute fucking definition of a princess. She has poise, she has style, fucking, she's always fucking dressed immaculately. She fucking carries herself like an absolute fucking an absolute lady, and she does everything correctly. She follows all the rules. She you know.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to interject. I'm going to interject here. You guys care so much about tradition. Fine. How about you bring back the tradition of the Queen actually doing something for a fucking change?
The whole point of her not doing anything is giving her people the freedom to actually live and fucking prosper and all this kind of stuff without the
prosper. You call daily stabbings prosperous?
That's the reason why you got a police force there, and that's the why you pay taxes.
They don't even carry guns. They're not a police force. They're a hyped-up security guard.
Well, there is a point because they got rid of the guns. They fucking don't give the coppers guns, and that means that the criminals don't need the guns when they commit the crimes because they don't need to shoot at the coppers who have the guns. So then they've just gone progress to fucking knives because knives are easier to get. So then you have to give the coppers slash vests instead of bulletproof vests.
Just a second. Barry in the chat. We will get to America, but I will address that right now. Daily shootings prosperous. Gun crime in America has dropped proportionately for over a decade. If you're looking at the high crime areas in America, they are mainly very Democrat and very anti-gun with very strong gun control policies that fail to work. So your argument falls on deaf ears, my friend. Go ahead.
Well, no, I was just explaining the reason why the UK police don't generally carry guns, but now they're actually more of them are carrying guns than ever. Like there used to only be certain like flying squads that like had to travel all over the joint if there was an armed situation. Now they've got teams everywhere pretty much, and in some cases they've actually got some coppers on patrol who actually do carry those PDWs.
And why are they carrying them? Because you guys went to diversity.
Well, the funny part about it is the cops that do carry the guns, they're just not carrying pistols. They've got PDWs. Something across their chest. They're like walking around. Shit, like you go to the Buckingham Palace, right? There's even coppers with PDWs that are backing up the guys at the gates.
Yeah, no, but it's your diversity hires. Welcome to diversity. Welcome to the fruits of diversity. That's the reason. That's the reason guns quickly become necessary. When you're a homogenous nation and you've got a homogenous type of mentality within the populace in a general context, you can make these kinds of rules and nobody bothers with it. It's not a big deal. But as soon as you start pushing diversity of cultures, cultural diversity, this is the result.
Well, you do get, as the... Go ahead, Jensen. Sorry.
Okay. Chicago. There you go. You lose.
Well, yeah, and the gun control debate's actually erupting in the chat as well. So it looks like we're gonna ring in the new year on gun control, just like we rung in 2019. Yay! But when you look at the clash, when you force cultures to intermix, and you have flashpoints, you also have though the crossover of cultures, most of the time peacefully, but there will be some flashpoints, and that's just growing pains.
You're increasing the number of those flashpoints, especially when you're pushing the quote unquote diversity, because what you're saying is that you don't want the cultures to merge. The whole purpose of having diversity is to prevent the cultures from merging at all. That's why they justify that they don't want them to assimilate. That's why they keep telling other people, no, you've got to respect that they speak another language. You got to respect that they dress a different way. You've got to respect that they act a different way.
You know, that's interesting, because maybe I still have the 90s mentality where I was always told, you know, to just look at everything colorblind pretty much, right? You look at it on a human basis, not, oh my God, that person is Indian.
And at
you
the
know
same
what I
time,
mean?
and at the same time, that group of in the 90s said, "Oh no, it's fine for having to press 2 for English."
True. I mean, yeah, they were talking out of both sides of their fucking face. Yeah, I mean, you're right. But back to the UK.
Okay, back to the UK. What do you want to say about the UK now?
Any other predictions for 2020? Are you guys gonna actually lighten up on some of your censorship laws, or are they gonna get worse? What do you guys think?
Wrong question. It's a simple question. Are we ever going to fucking leave Europe? End of this month. We are on a 31-day countdown as of right now. Tick fucking tick.
So your prediction is you will leave the UK, or the EU rather.
I'm very confident we will leave the EU. We may leave it in a smoking ruin, but we will leave it. Okay.
And then Poland will leave. And
Yep.
I think after all of Scandinavian will leave.
Most of Eastern Europe will leave.
So
Greece
what?
will leave.
So you think Germany's gonna prop up
no.
Greece and Italy, or what?
Yeah, no, Greece will stay because Germany and France will have to prop them up.
That part will be funny.
Well, I know Greece, they can't leave. They couldn't pay their way out. First off, they can't leave. But what about Italy?
They're screwed. I mean, seriously, I actually could not put my finger on a map and think of a country in Europe that is not screwed when we go, because they are all buggered thoroughly.
Yeah, well, that's the reason why France and Germany are so scared of of Britain leaving, because they want Britain back in the EU so the pound can prop up the euro, and Italy and bloody Greece keep fucking defaulting on their loans. And if Britain leaves, there goes the pound to prop up the euro, and then also there's going to be the cascade, and they're going to be left holding the baby with a useless currency to try and prop up some, like a bunch of dickheads who keep fucking borrowing money and refusing to pay it back, because the major parties and the government who wants to run the place keeps giving them fucking tons of money, knowing that they're just going to default on it.
Well,
But
what do you see them trying to put together? Then some kind of return to the common market.
Oh, I think the euro will collapse completely, and people go back to their own individual currencies. Back to individual trade and all this kind of stuff, like it was before the EU. Probably, I don't know what'll happen with the Schengen agreement, with the whole open borders deal kind of thing, with the border guards and shit like that, and gates will go back up, and papers, please, that kind of shit.
You know that
don't know whether
Germany
that'll
never
happen.
really got rid of that, don't you?
Didn't they?
Think about it. That the control of their people is their major point. The absolute chaos that's occurred has occurred to most of the other countries around it, and a little bit to Germany. Who won World War II? Do you want to take a second guess? Germany actually benefited out of all of this shit show. It's us walking away that has absolutely screwed their plans. And again, during World War One and World War II, Germany didn't want to go to war with Britain. They actually wanted us to work with them.
Well, no, and you have a good point, Jensen, because who lost World War II? I would argue England. Right after World War II, you guys had to scale back and you lost your empire.
Yeah, I think Jensen and Yorkie will agree with me with the whole thing that Merkel and shit like that were saying a couple of years ago, where they wanted a single European unified currency, which was the euro, and they wanted Britain to drop the pound, and you voted not to do it. You wanted to keep the sterling, and they wanted a unified government run out of Germany, which included England. So the British Parliament would be dissolved, basically, and it'd be run from Germany. They wanted one unified army run out of Germany, and that included the British Army, and the Air Force and the Navy would now be run by Germany. And you got
to understand something. The Germans need that. Germans need that because the United States, let's be perfectly frank here, you're already seeing what the writings on the wall. We will be withdrawing from Europe very, very soon. You will. The isolationist tendencies of my nation have returned. There's going to be people screaming to get the hell out of everywhere. It isn't going to help anybody, but you're going to see us return to the days before. All right. In World War II, we're gonna go back in an isolationist mode.
Hey, now you cunts are listening. They've been screaming fucking Yankee go home for 70 fucking years.
I just wanted to point out tiny little thing. Look at the date. Oh, look, it's the 20s. When did things start to go to shit? Oh, look, the 30s. Every 100 years, the world gets very, very exciting, very, very interesting.
Yeah.
That's my prediction.
Yeah, no, and that's a jump-off point for a question. I didn't know when I was going to bring it up to MC, but I knew I was going to. Yeah, is the 20s and 30s going to be a reflection of the last 20s and 30s?
Return to the Dust Bowl.
Oh, you okay? Are we overdue for a major natural disaster in the United States?
But anyway, getting back to what I was saying before I was fucking rudely interrupted. Jensen and Yorkie would agree with the other two things: the unified army and the unified currency, and there's the unified government run out of Germany. Those 3 points, and that kind of seems like World War II without firing a shot.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't. And that's a bit fucking scary, and that's a very good motivator to fuck off out of the Union.
Well, you guys are definitely going to be better off out of the EU. There's no doubt about that.
Oh, fuck yeah.
I mean, the rest of the world will be better off because, first of all, that whole thing was already a disaster, and the way the EU was put together with the non-elected bureaucrats running everything. I can't believe that they even attempt to say that it's democratic because it's not even close. Yeah, I mean, it's not even a republic for crying out loud. But regardless, let's back to Mad Dodge and your question. I don't see us returning from into a 20s type of mentality. Really, it could things turn into a type of 30s. If it does, it's not going to go the way the 1930s did. All right, you're going to see the rise of certain powers. Most of them will be in the Middle East. All right, and you're going to see people just sitting back waiting for somebody to take the lead, and it won't be the United States.
Well, you're already kind of talking about a reflection, though, of the past with the isolation that the United States was trying to do. If nobody pulls us into a international conflict, we don't want to fight one right now. We really don't.
It's not a matter. All right, this is something that I have a problem with with people that keep saying, well, what we want. It has no bearing. What we want has absolutely no bearing on anything. Okay, whether you like it or not, other groups decide that. It's just like listening to Styx, Cindergo, and Molyneux today. We don't want a war with Iran. We don't want a war with Iran. We don't want a war with Iran. Oh, really? I think you better come to Jesus and understand what you want doesn't matter because Iran is already at war with us. You sticking your head in the sand or putting your fingers in your ears going, la, 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 I don't want a war with Iran, doesn't change that.
Well, you do realize I put the caveat in the beginning of unless we're pulled into a conflict, which Iran can pull us into a conflict. They shut down the Strait of Hormuz, and we will defend international waterways. We will do it.
We're already involved in it. Iran has already declared war on us. It's just a matter of accepting that fact. And the longer it takes, eventually we'll have to accept it, but the longer it takes, the absolutely more damage and brutality is going to take place to fix it.
Yeah, Keen is asking a question. When did they actually declare war?
Well, I don't know. When they have freaking demonstrations screaming death to America. All right, when the government sponsors these things and whips the people to go out there and do that, do you think that is not a declaration of war? Now I know you don't think that attacking our embassies is a declaration of war. Surely that's not.
You did not just accuse me of fucking just accepting Benghazi as, oh, that's okay, or anything else like that.
Have you had your head in the sand? I'm not talking about Benghazi.
He's talking about the one that happened a couple days ago.
I've been doing fucking moving firewood and doing real life shit. Didn't know what happened a couple days ago.
Word it properly, Dodge. You was dragging your wood all around your garden.
This is what happens when you try to teach Mad Dodge to code.
Fuck you. Just because I wasn't sitting at my computer all fucking day long for once, I thought you guys would be happy, assholes.
I guess you were wrong.
Dodge, haven't you got a phone? Sorry, I had to.
Dude, I do not carry my fucking phone around. Like, have a bunch of firewood in one hand, and I'm on the phone looking at the news. What the fuck, man?
His wife whipped that out of him a long time ago.
Okay, are you guys done roasting me? I didn't know it was the 2019 roast of Mad Dodge.
Whoa. Stop right there. Stop right there. You did not know that. Jensen announced it to you that this is what it would be. He said you're okay with it, right? Before we even went live, he asked you that.
I didn't hear it. I need to pay more attention.
You said yes.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the you just nod your head when you don't really hear a word they said.
And they wonder why rape is something that happens. They say yes, but they weren't listening. Oh, sorry, what? Was that too dark?
I wonder if that was Mike Tyson's defense. Anyway, moving on.
All right, Harvey.
Oh,
Okay, so Iran, what embassy got attacked?
Iran sponsored an attack on the American embassy in Iraq. And they attacked it with thousands of people, including the militia group.
Wearing uniform.
Obviously, you weren't alive in 1979, when, but I'll forgive you for that.
Do you want to mention the fact they were wearing uniform?
Yes, they were wearing militia uniforms from Hezbollah.
Armed people wearing uniforms attacking American soil.
Oh, ow, hammered spud. That's horrible. It's funny. It's hilarious, but that's horrible.
Yeah, no, and Mitch, talk about a digression. Yes, but we wrapped it all back around to the subject at hand.
Anyway. Back to what do we think is going to happen with Great Britain? We can get to America in a little bit. This is supposed to be talking about Great Britain. Mad Dog can make a fool of himself at any point in time.
Yeah, but we do it better.
I'm sorry, Mad Dog. He makes it so easy sometimes, doesn't he?
I know.
No, okay, you want to get back to the predictions for Great Britain.
Yes.
I predict that they will blow up that blasted tunnel just to make Cabby's last hope come true.
Oh, that would be awesome. Oh, please let me do it. Please, please, please. Oh, just let me press the button. That would be so... Oh, God. That would be awesome. I would feel so much better if they did that.
Are you saying that you're going to have Markle in the tunnel? Is that the plan now?
I did mention that we were sending... I'm sorry, she was going to France. People use the tunnel to go to France. What? It's just a suggestion.
Is Dodie's brother going to be there?
Yeah, how's the Schengen agreement going to work there if Britain leaves the? Serious question. If UK leaves the EU, how's the cross-channel tunnel going to work for people who just go over for day trips and shit like that to go to France? Do we have to get a visa to go to fucking France now?
Yes, that's actually what will happen.
Can I ask a question?
All right, well, real quick, I'll be right back, but Mitch the Ripper has a prediction. The UK and US will sign a new and lovely trade deal. I like that prediction. Go ahead, guys. I'll be back in 5.
Oh, I think that the US will probably sign a trade deal very quickly with Great Britain, to be honest. I think that's one of the things that it'll be interesting to see how you guys, how all this EU trade goes down. Because I don't think that they're going to try and help you guys at all. I think they're going to go out, trying to pull out the whacking sticks, because that's who the EU is.
I totally agree with you. It is going to be a simple case of they are going to try and make our life as much of a misery for doing what we're doing to them. So they are going to do their absolute worst. Now, what I'm actually curious about, as we're discussing this, and Sly, would you mind muting, please, mate?
Sorry.
Okay, mate. Right. My point I was making was, what about America buying the NHS? Please note the highly suspicious cough there.
Okay. Why would we buy the NHS?
I have no fucking idea. But apparently you guys were trying to buy the NHS. Now, we never put it on the table to be bought, but apparently, according to some of the things, if you make a deal with America, everything is on the table.
Hey, just like anything, they'll buy it off you, then take the credit for it.
Why would we buy
Like
why
all
would
the
we
battles that
buy-
we used to have. Well, like the battles we used to have in World War II, we'd do all the work and then they'd take the credit.
Yeah, you guys did all the work, you're right? What was that again?
Over here.
What was that again? The reprolls? How well did that work out for you guys?
Yeah. Hey, what's
okay.
What was that? Sorry?
Yeah. What was that great battleship from Australia that sailed in there and saved everybody? Oh, that's right.
Yeah, what were you saying? Sorry. No. Honestly, I couldn't quite get what you're talking about.
You're going to talk about that how we were late to the war, all right? If you guys weren't trying, you guys were so desperate to get us into the frickin' war, you frickin' gave all the frickin' plans to attack Pearl Harbor to the Japanese. And said, look, go after them.
It worked. What's the problem?
You know, it's always great that you guys invite us to all the fashionable parties all the time.
Come on. Okay. We're the older brother, and we're trying to look after the younger sister and get her into some of the interesting places. It's not our fault if you keep turning up late.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's a family event. It's a family event. Exactly. Come on.
Let's see, what happened in World War I? Oh, that's right. The British sit up there and send us a little note. Oh, look what the Germans are doing. They want Mexico to attack you.
You know, okay, and
it worked.
Hey, it did work. And I was going to save this for the World War I stream, but here's a question. Why did we go invade Europe? Why didn't we invade Mexico?
You got lost.
Well, they didn't attack you.
Look at Mexico. Bad Dodge. Look at Mexico. Do we really want it?
Well, if anything, Mexico's been invading you.
Okay.
They didn't attack you. Sorry. Go. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Here you go. You fucking hell. You go.
All right, I'll go first. Mine should be short. I had this conversation with my diplomat buddy, and we were discussing America taking out Mexico, and he's sitting there saying to me, "Oh no, but Mexico's got such a large army." And as I pointed out to him, yeah, we take the brakes off of Texas, and they'll take it. And he's just looking at me and,
Mexico
am I wrong,
has a
MC?
large army. The Mexican army got beaten by El Chapo's son. Okay.
I'd say it's closer to a militia than an actual military.
It's not even. It's just a drug gang with uniforms. That's all it is.
But one thing would be a point is that by telling the Americans about the Japanese and the Mexicans, is that well, if they go over to Germany and take out the Axis forces and all this kind of stuff, then well, you nip that in the bud. There goes their backers. They're not going to attack if they're if the people who are given the orders are gone.
The thing about the Japanese wasn't that you were telling us about the Japanese. The thing about the Japanese is you sent one of your lords over to investigate Pearl Harbor, who then delivered all that information straight to Japan.
I think you'll find that. Sorry, I was answering Dodger's question. I think you'll find he was referring to World War I.
Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in the World War I stream because there is some interesting aspects about that.
Yeah, because we did talk about this in not this last episode, episode 4, where we were talking about how we motivated the Americans to get involved by saying that the Japanese and the Mexicans were siding with the Axis forces preparing to attack. So you guys better come and join, or else they'll do that. And I think it was Dodge that said, "Isn't it fucking funny how the people who wanted us to get involved just happen to know this information, so as blah blah blah?" Because I think I said something like, "Oh, you know how you guys found out because we kind of told you." That prompted Mad to say that. And you went something like, "Oh, yeah, of course you fucking, of course they fucking told us."
Relax, come back down. You'll be all right. I don't think that's how what we were talking about. You're confusing World War One and Two.
I haven't
them back and forth. Of course, Man does too, so I understand the reference. But
I have a fucked memory, man. Don't fucking interrupt. I was going fucking great there, you bastard. I can't remember what I was talking about.
It's supposed to be a New Year's Eve stream, not World War One and World War Two.
No, but that's where Dodge was asking the question. That's the origin of it. So now you know what we're talking about.
Okay, so Mitch the Ripper says, ultimately, the EU will starve itself out. Not necessarily. How much food does European Union actually have to import?
Quite a bit, actually.
Where are they going to get it from?
The United States, usually. We're the breadbasket of the world,
They
really.
get most of their stuff, to be honest. They avoid trying to get anything from the United States. They tend to actually get it from Latin America. That's their main supplier.
I told you, you guys should have gone down, taken the whole continent. No one listens to me.
Well, you guys bitch about our GMO food.
No, we just don't trust food where you can actually say, "Oh, I'll have a leg, and so will I," when talking about one chicken.
Okay, but you can bitch about that, but at the same time, you're going to sit there and go, I'll have a leg from a chicken that came from Mexico.
Fair point.
You know how much heroin was smuggled in that chicken? Just saying.
Yeah, it tasted so good.
So, but no, I mean, as far as the EU goes, will they survive? Someone has to do something about Canada. That's true. Canada, they get a lot of food from Canada actually as well. Canada does export a lot of food to Europe.
Wait a minute. How the fuck is Canada a exporter of food? Don't they need that shit for the winter?
Believe it or not,
Canada.
Believe it or not,
Canada,
Canada has huge sections of agricultural land. They do produce, in that shortened season of theirs, they produce a lot of food. They really do. They have huge wheat fields in Canada. Most people don't even realize that.
Well, as a British representative here, I just want to say to the Americans, I hear that Canada's thinking of working with China to invade from the north. You might want to go and do something about that.
Well, that's it. We're going to war.
You know what the problem is about Canada? Canadians.
They're French. Yeah, true.
There are some good Canadians. They're few and far between.
Name two. Name two.
Name two. The Beardbarians won.
Uh-huh. Right, there we go.
Give me a second here. I'll come up with another one.
No, you won't. Just accept.
Right. If you say I'm a skeptic, I'll slap you.
No.
Oh, no. Faith Goldie.
You obviously haven't been following my streams if you think that I was going to say something like that, Will Yorkie.
Well, it could have been worse. It could have been worse. He could have said, and the other good Canadian, Celine Dion.
I thought you were going to say Trudeau.
Shania Twain was okay. You got to give her.
Justin Bieber?
No.
Yeah. You want another reason
Another
to invade
reason
Canada?
to hate the Obama administration is they allowed him to become an American. Okay? Just think of that.
Wait, who signed that? Like, fire that asshole.
Osama bin Bama and Barack bin Laden. I mean, fucking Barry Obama. I mean, yeah. Wife of Michael Obama. I mean, husband of Michelle Obama.
Okay, all right. Prediction for the UK. Let's see here.
War.
No. I do predict that your financial market will plummet after you leave, but it will regain very quickly. I predict maybe a month of loss, and then you guys will be right back to normal.
I don't even think it'll be a month. I think it'll be 2 days, 2-3 days. Honestly,
You got to remember. No, he's right. You got to remember, Mad. The English are good for a couple of things. One, queuing and bitching, and two, getting on with it because we've had a queue and a bitch about it. That is literally the British way of doing shit, mate.
See, freight networks and all this kind of stuff, fucking supply chains and all this shit doesn't work like it back in the fucking 40s and all this kind of stuff. The capacities of supply ships have gone up drastically and all this kind of stuff, and the frequency of them is such that fucking it'd take a very, very, very long time for Britain to get into a stage that holy shit, we got to start rationing and all this kind of stuff, because there is so much more trade going on with other countries that weren't trading before, an industry that in countries that used to be there, that used to never exist, that fucking they don't really have to be relying on the Europeans. And even if Poland takes their sweet ass bloody time to commence the snowball effect, like, it doesn't really matter. Britain will still fucking they'll be all right. And it's not like we got U-boats sinking the cunts in the fucking North Atlantic this time. So it's not going to be. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
you just kind of drifted off there at the end there, man.
He was cool. He was happy with what he said.
Well, it's a non-event. Like, fuck. Yeah.
No, I honestly don't think. I honestly think that the markets are the one thing the markets don't like is instability. You have stability with the Brexit. You have stability. I really don't see how. I never understood this idea that somehow Britain was going to be really, really sucking wind. What do you get? What do you guys actually get from the EU? The only thing that anybody's ever pointed out to me that is well, we can travel back and forth. So what? So you've got to show your passport. It is that's the only thing. Well, I like the fact that I didn't have to travel with my passport. Okay, is traveling with your passport that huge an issue? Is it going to prevent you from traveling? Is it going to prevent you from doing anything?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. I don't have a passport. I can't leave the country. I've never left the country. Do I want to get fucking 3 government-based identifications? I don't have a military ID. I gotta have my birth certificate. Social security card doesn't count anymore, I don't think. So my state-issued driver's license, and then I gotta come up with something else. I mean, it's kind of
Are you traveling to another country? If you're traveling to another country, then I don't understand what your bitch is.
What if I want to go to Canada for 12 hours? Why should I need a passport?
Then get a passport.
Because it's another country.
Because it's another nation with another set of rules.
Yeah, a set of rules. There's not even a fucking fence, dude. You got cities in the U.S. that merge with cities in Canada where literally it's a 4-way stop and there's the fucking border.
Oh, really? I don't think it works that way, Mad Dodge. I don't think you've ever seen the border with Canada in those cities that are merged.
Give me a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay, but getting.
It doesn't work the way he's thinking it. I've been to Canada many times.
You podcast.
And I go with my passport, and they still bitch at me because they want to know why I'm in Canada. And when I say that I'm doing for work, then their hackles get raised. What Canadian job are you taking, you evil freaking American bastard? But if I was an illegal alien sneaking across the border, you would have a problem.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You're not black.
Getting back to what I was saying about the Poms being okay is that, like, yeah, if Poland doesn't take their sweet ass time to jump ship just after the British do, well, then that'll have that cascading effect, and everybody who leaves will just go ahead and reapproach Britain and say, "Oh yeah, you remember those deals that we had before? Well, let's do a better deal."
Well, that's exactly what it'll be. Is they'll want to renegotiate all the trade deals they have with the UK to begin with. You're going to have so many countries trying to sign trade deals with you. It's not even going to be funny.
Yeah. Well, with the Polish or Eastern Europeans in general, they'll probably try to make some sort of new pact with Britain just so they can keep pouring through our borders.
Well, there's going to be a lot of fear. I'm going to tell you right now. There's going to be a lot of fear about the United States when we start withdrawing, because they're going to be looking around and going, "Who do we trust?" And of course, Poland's going, "Who do we trust? We don't trust anybody near us." And for some reason, they have a reason to believe that.
I can't think why.
You know, but Hungary will be a separate issue. Hungary's actually an interesting nation. I think people forget the fact that the Hungarians are kind of aggressive.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, you know, I've seen worse.
They tend to have a Germanic approach to acquiring land.
I'm not saying it's not effective. Oh God, here we go.
Okay.
Looks like a very guarded checkpoint to me. Yep. I see them searching cars right there. What about that house over there that's right there in the middle of the goddamn border?
Why don't you take a look at what's right above there? We see that big thing where it's talking about this right here. Try to go into that city, Mad Dodge. Try to go into that city. Okay? And try to get out of that city. Meaning you're in Canada. Try to leave on the Canadian side and get into Canada proper.
I laugh if you fucking you show us a white stripe across the road and then you don't show us what's either side of it.
It's not my fault. The picture is really narrow, dude. It's that because I took the picture. Come on.
Because it's meant to be narrow. You notice you're not taking a picture from the U.S. side.
Yeah,
facing Canada.
I understand you didn't take the picture, but you did pick it.
Yeah, it took me 30 seconds on a piece of shit computer that the fan started spinning on. Shut up. Everybody's a fucking critic.
Hi, Dodge. I'd like to introduce you to the other 4 people on here. You obviously haven't met us. Yes, we're all critics.
Speaking of critics, how well did the last Skywalker go over in Great Britain?
Well, how am I going to put this? Badly, really badly. No worse than that.
My dad hung himself.
Seriously,
Disappointment.
It was just a fucking joke. Nobody actually gave a shit about it. I mean, I wasn't around for Star Wars in its heyday. And unfortunately, I was around for the shit shows that were the prequels and whatnot. But I heard rumors that there would be people like queued up round the block for like 100 miles in every fucking direction. No. You basically, you'd have people sneaking up to the cinema going, "Please don't see me, please don't see me." They were too embarrassed to go. There was hardly any.
No shit, because I remember even the prequel series, like you just mentioned, they sucked. But you still had assholes out there and fucking dressed up with fucking lightsabers and shit.
First day, first showing, yes. The nerd herd were allowed out. Their mummy had, packed them something to eat. So they've all traipsed up there to watch it. They've watched it, all traipsed back, and then they sat on their computer committing suicide.
I need to ask my dad what I thought
I didn't
about
know
it.
Heaven's Gate was back. Okay.
What were you saying, Yorkie?
Yeah, I need to ask my dad what I thought about it because he was a really big Star Wars nerd as a kid. In fact, that's why he called me Luke.
Good reason. Fair point.
Yeah, he wanted
it's
to call
not-
my last name he wanted to have my middle name as Skywalker, but my mother nearly slapped him for it.
Okay. Props to your dad. That's awesome.
Oh dear God.
So what you're saying is Ray is your sister?
Yeah.
No, niece, I think. I was actually a bit more concerned. Was your dad spotting you trying to kiss your sister? Is that why he want to call you Skywalker?
Oh,
Just checking.
that's weird. That'd be so fucked up. Seeing you just on the two.
Oh shit. Prediction. Yorkie will kill Jensen by the end of 2020.
Well, here's the next question I got though. What's the response then of this new update for Doctor Who? I always killed somebody apparently.
Do you really want to do this? Okay then.
That show's still alive.
Yes, unfortunately, there is another season coming, and apparently they're making the Doctor and the Pakistani girl go lesbian on each other in it, just to really rub salt in the wounds.
Wait, they brought in a packet.
So, yeah.
Oh God!
I was trying to be nice. I thought I'd try it out for novelty factor.
I know why she's going fucking bisexual, so she can wear a strap on, and then the producers can go, "See, guys, she's sort of a bloke. Can you leave her alone now?"
Have you seen the lightsaber? You tell me that that's not a rabbit vibrator. Seriously.
Okay, this is taking a turn that I didn't know anything about. Now, because I'm not a huge.
Why do you think I warned you?
I know enough about. I know what Doctor Who is because we saw it on PBS here in the United States, but that was really all we really knew about Doctor Who.
Oh, yeah, no. Okay, just going for the more modern Doctors. We had Christopher Eccleston. Very interesting Doctor Who. If nothing else, he was kind of cool because he just didn't give a shit. Then you went on to Tennant. Good Doctor. Good stories. Then you went on to Matt. It could have been worse. Oh, it was worse. They brought on Peter Capaldi. And at that point, Doctor Who said, "You've been bitching about him. Hold my beer." And they brought out this wench. And genuinely, she is hated by anyone who has any respect for Doctor Who. So when you sit there and you see these people on the internet, "Oh, no, she's not really that bad." They're lying.
Well,
She's that bad.
Jensen. Well, real quick, Jensen. Do you hate her because it's a woman doctor, like the left likes to screech about? Then no. Okay, good. Because I didn't think that you're not that fucking shallow. Why do you hate her then?
She couldn't act if you paid her. That is what they're doing. But she can't act. Seriously. Take any charisma that you can think of in the Doctor Who series. And let's be fair, the Doctor, one of his things is his charisma. And just replace it with whiny bitch mode. She is shit as a character. I'm not blaming the actress. I'm not totally Okay, the actress sucks too, but I'm not totally blaming her. Honestly, the writers need to be taken out the back and basically beaten within an inch of their life every day.
Well, why did they change writers? Did the other writers just move on, or did they not want to write anymore, or what?
Diversity. That was why they had to change the entire story of Doctor Who just to actually put the female Doctor in.
Yeah. Well, didn't the first writing staff consist of a bunch of females, and they wrote a bunch of fucking scripts that really, really sucked, and then they had to fuck them off, or else they're going to lose all the audience?
No, that's the ones that actually got shown. Trust me, they couldn't have been much worse than the episodes that we were forced to watch. They were bad. Okay, they were really, really bad. I don't know what you've got in America that would be classed as the show that you point at as this is bad. At least
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones was a glorious success in comparison.
Well, I'm sure Mad Dodge will have something to say about that when we get to the American side of the New Year's.
Yeah, just,
the other ending of Lost. The other ending of Lost, where we find out it's what we thought the whole fucking time, it was purgatory, instead of the good ending the season before, where they nuked the island 100,000 years before fucking the world bloody existed. So it never existed in the first place, wiping out the entire story.
I'd rather watch Lost. Seriously.
Up until the end of season 5. Season 6 is...
No. I'd rather watch season 6 on repeat than have to watch any of Doctor Who. Seriously, it's so bad.
Well, you know what makes me mad about British television is all the shows that I actually liked. Like, I liked that Robin Hood show. I got BBC America when I had cable just for that show. And then they fuck it up. So it's like, you guys come up with a great idea, and then you're like, you JJ the shit, and you fuck up the ending every goddamn time.
Well,
I'm not going to try and defend them.
Lots of Americans saying, hold my beer right now.
Yes.
Okay. To say that we haven't screwed up our shows is kind of ridiculous. But I was curious to hear what your viewpoint was, because I follow Doctor Who. I remember Doctor Who when I was a kid, okay, and watching it, like I said, on PBS, right, with the doctor with the frizzy hair,
right.
All right, that's the Doctor Who I remember. I didn't continue to watch. Yeah,
Tom Baker.
Yes. So that's who's Doctor Who to me.
He's the one I remember too. He's the one I started off with. Him and the Brigadier. I remember this one episode, right? This is the one episode I do remember, is they were fighting that plant, those plant monsters, right? And him and the Brigadier, I think, are stuck in his greenhouse, and the monsters are attacking him. They call it an airstrike, and they had stock footage of RAF aircraft. And the first aircraft you see flying in is a Blackburn Buccaneer, and then the thing that drops all the bombs is this fairly famous piece of footage of a bunch of Phantoms coming in, dropping napalm canisters. But before you see the napalm explode and all this, and then the footage of them flying away were fucking Harrier GR Mark IIs.
How cool our Air Force is! The planes can transform. Come on, America, what you got? Our planes shapeshift.
Our planes can't be seen.
I knew you were Romulans. You cheating bastard.
You have.
Yeah. Pax Americana, bitch.
Oh, no. Americans have attempted to make a shape-shifting aircraft that F-117 that broke up over that air show. You see, it lost a wing. It changed its shape. Didn't fly for very long, but it still changed its shape, didn't it?
F-117s don't change shape.
They do when the wing
they
falls
do,
off.
and they lose it.
We did have F-14s. Okay.
No, you didn't get it. MC, it is a joke. The plane fell to bits and crashed at an air show.
Yeah, but we have a lot of planes that do that, to be honest. I mean, you guys are joking. One of the reasons why the A-10 didn't sell outside of the United States for the longest time before we banned sale in them was at the Paris Air Show. It was doing a maneuver, and both the engines came off.
Oh,
right? Did it really?
Yes.
Wow.
And there's a lot of speculation that was done intentionally. There's a lot of people who say that was done intentionally so that people wouldn't try to actually purchase the A-10.
I wonder. Oh, never mind. Oh, I have to look that up because I'm a massive A-10 fan. I've never heard about that. I was a fan of the A-10s way back in like 1983 before fucking most cunts knew about the airplane.
You should be able to find it under A-10 crash and air show or Paris Air Show. I believe it was the Paris Air Show that it happened. So, no, the A-10 is a tough aircraft, but it lost both engines from what I was told. Anyway, so what do you guys envision at all repurposing your military?
In what manner?
Well, with you guys withdrawing from the EU is going to do something. Has to do something, right? So, are you guys going to continue to draw down, or are you going to freeze your drawdown and start to plus back up?
Cool. Yeah.
The reason I'm asking that is because I think a lot of nations are going to be asking for your support.
True. I'm hoping they are actually going to, put at least a little bit of respect back to the soldiers. Granted, I'm kind of looking at a bit being on the soldier side, but it would be nice to actually have a military that deserves some respect, even if it's only a little bit.
Well, what I'm wondering is, let's say the United States pulls out of Europe proper. We leave a base in the UK. We could help you out with ground forces, and maybe you guys go back into what you're good at, your Navy.
That would be actually a good thing. I agree.
MC. Right. Le Bourget, France, June 3, I think it's 1977. The new United States Air Force A-10 jet crashed today, killing the pilot. During maneuvers on the opening day of the air show, or air and space show here, the pilot built by Fairchild Industries was being demonstrated by Fairchild's chief test pilot Howard W. Nelson, who's flown 500 hours in an A-10 since 1972. He was performing a loop over the runway in view of his wife and thousands of spectators when the tail section hit the ground. No one was injured.
Okay, that's what happened.
Yeah. The agency that cooperates or that operates the air group or air show group does industries funds says Aeronautis est spécial fuck off issued a statement saying that the loop was too close. No shit, dickhead. The Fairchild spokesman declined to comment because he didn't want to look like that fucking stupid idiot there with his dumb shit long ass title, pretentious fuck, saying that the Air Force Board will be set up to investigate the crash. Right. Okay. There you go.
Okay, well, Mitch is saying, I wonder if the U.S. would create a North Atlantic fleet. This is what I'm saying. My idea is we don't need to. Let the Brits do that. We scale back. We leave Europe proper. We dismantle NATO because, well, nobody's paying their due anyway. Fuck them, right? You know who is paying their due? Poland and the UK. We still work with them. And we focus on what we're good at, and we let the UK handle their business. What have they been good at for 400 years? Their fucking navy. Let them do it.
Okay, that's great to want them to do that. Okay, it's always wonderful to look at it from an American's perspective and go, how about we allow you to do this? Okay, whether or not they do that, whether or not they step up and help us out in that regard, that's kind of up to them, isn't it? Manoj? And he runs away.
Oh, geez, MC, you made him leave, you naughty bully boy, you naughty boy.
Apart from that, let's be blunt, okay? If England suddenly gets it into its head that it's time to do some rather unusual things, like getting our navy going, do you really want to be sitting there and watching us create the British Empire Mark II, Mad? Really? You want
why not? Why not? No, we want to scale back and worry about our hemisphere. Good. You guys do your thing again. I don't give two shits. I doubt Trump gives two shits.
He's not wrong. When you said, would you like us to recreate the empire? The Americans are like, okay.
Well, no.
I'm real blunt with you.
Third perspective point of view is we're going to need both of you soon to fucking get your shit together because China is becoming a fucking problem. We're going to need to deal with that whether you two cunts like it or not because we've got agreements, boys and girls, and if they fucking touch us, you two pricks are involved.
No, China is becoming a problem. There's no doubt about that. And the flashpoint will be with Japan. Mm. And Japan, this is something that people are not paying a whole lot of attention to. Japan is plussing up its military by leaps and bounds.
Yep.
Okay, it's not an exaggeration. They are increasing their military presence, and they unfortunately, however, they're doing it because of China. Yes, and they will start a war with Russia. That's who the Japanese are.
Well, haven't the Japanese just won back the ability to have an actual Army, Navy, Air Force as opposed to a defense force?
Well, they still call it a defense force, but they have changed their constitution to allow them to engage in offensive operations outside of their territory, outside their national borders.
Hang on, MC. Who was that first comment? Okay, Mitch. Yes, Australia should figure out how to weaponize their wildlife. Here is an actual fun fact, right? There is a defence policy where the flora and fauna of Australia are classified in as parts of our defence systems, because the northern parts of Australia are so vast, and the types of terrain that you're going to encounter between crocodiles, leeches, venomous snakes, spiders, and all this kind of stuff, and then the actual terrain itself, and then the lack of vegetation in a lot of places, the lack of food, the supplier lines that they have to be maintained and all this, we expect that an enemy force, if they attack from the north, that alone will cost them up to about 50% of their forces. So yes, we actually have figured out how to weaponize our flora and fauna and animals and stuff like that.
So your idea is to run and hide behind your animals.
Draw them out into the desert, extend their because as they come south, the country gets wider and wider. So if you wanted to do like this big sweeping maneuver south, we run around in small little groups, hindering them left, right, and centre out in the middle of nowhere. And their supply lines, they've got to keep and maintain to keep this ever widening front.
Yeah, the devastating attack from the emus will arise once more.
Well, once they get to the midpoint, that's where all the fucking drop bears and bunyips are, and once they get there, they're completely fucked.
Well, no, and before StreamYards kicked me out, MC, you were saying, yeah, it's great as an American to say, we'll let them. That's not what I was saying. I believe the United Kingdom, after they leave the EU, is going to have to look to their own defense, and they're going to want a agreement with the United States. I say
sure.
We give it to them.
No, I agree with that. I agree. I don't have a problem with that either. The thing is when they were talking about restarting up the European Empire or the British Empire, would you care if they redid a new British Empire?
Well, you see, they don't really have to put to make a new agreement because there are many, many different standing agreements between the UK, the US, and various different combinations of other different countries. Like there's UKANSAS, for example, which is the Australian, UK, Australia, New Zealand agreement. There's ANZUS, which is America, Australia, New Zealand. There's UKISAS, which is I think UK, Iceland, America, and basically there's fucking tons of these, and none of them actually include the European continent, especially bloody France. So if the UK leaves the EU, there's all of these different, no matter what, like. If some of them might disappear, but fucking there's like still 55 of these bloody agreements that you guys have still got defense-wise and economic-wise and other aspects of fucking whatever, but mainly the defense part of it.
Hammer Spud thinks that Japan will go nuclear very soon. Do you expect that? I don't expect that. I do not expect Japan to go to develop. Japan could overnight throw a nuclear weapon. There's no doubt about that. They have tons, and this is not an exaggeration, tons of plutonium. So if they wanted to go and build atomic weapons, they could do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, no. Mitch the Ripper says, then again, there's a revenge angle. I think there's more of, we know what happens when it's used. They don't want to do that angle here. Am I naive? Maybe. I don't know.
No. They don't know the full effects, and in nowadays technology, this is where I can see the limiting size of munitions nowadays, like small diameter bombs and all this kind of stuff. Is that, like, especially with the technology that you associate with Japan's, like with robots and drones and fucking remote control devices and things like that, it'd be much more feasible for the Japanese if they used lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of super accurate munitions to go and just fucking destroy exactly what they want to destroy instead of nuking an entire place.
No, I think it would be better if I was Japan. I would be putting my resources in EMP weapons, and I would shut down China's entire power grid. I would make it to where they couldn't launch a nuke even if they had 10 million of them. And then I would invade using conventional weapons. Okay,
I'm going to be real blunt with you, Mad Dodge. The idea that somebody can... you hear these people talking out their ass when they talk about an EMP taking out countries and taking out power grids for any extended period of time. It's bullshit. Don't believe that crap. Okay? If EMPs were going to be so freaking effective, okay, we would have thrown an EMP in Iraq. Okay, if we could do that, we would have thrown it in Iraq and shut them down permanently. All right, there was no reason not to. All right, so the idea that somehow that these EMP weapons are going to be, they're going to be so powerful, and they're going to stop everybody, and overnight people will start starving to death, and all this is it's horse shit. Can there be an effect from an EMP? Yes. Is it going to be widespread that it's going to take down a national power grid? No.
And EMPs only work on devices that are plugged in or turned on at that point in time. Anyways, if you turn everything off in your house,
not exactly. No, they because of how the magnetic pulse goes through, anything that it has a coil near it or anything can be affected, especially a coil, right? Microcircuits as well can actually get, if they're not shielded in a certain way, can be affected. But the idea that they're going to do this on a wide scale, it can't happen. The physics of it prevent it. Yes, Hawaii lost part of their power due to the starfish exercise. That is true. All right. But Hawaii, okay, is a small piece of land with water around it, which basically helped to amplify it. If you had tried to do any kind of nuclear strike or EMP from a nuclear strike over a landed over a landmass, its effect would be almost negated because its energy would get absorbed by the land. Okay, you have to understand how these things freaking function. It's not going to take out.
Okay. You're probably right. I don't know that much about it. But I'm reading the comments here. Aunt Jack says, I don't get how you guys trust Japan. They are the Germans of the East. Any thoughts?
They're okay.
They've changed.
They have changed. They are no longer a feudalistic society. That's why I trust Japan. All right, they're not feudalists anymore. I don't trust Germans because Germans are Germans. Okay, their ideas are completely different. But what caused Japan to side with Germany during World War II and go down that had to do much more with the fact that they were a feudalistic cultural mindset. That feudalistic cultural mindset doesn't exist anymore. All right, so I'm not worried about Japan for that reason.
Matt Barkley says, fuck you, Mad Dodge. Read that one, please. There you go, Matt. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Actually, I think he wanted you to read Japan literally took 2 nukes and is still way ahead of Africa. I think he was going for that one.
I know, but that's not the one I read, is it?
Well, now you're just being a dick. Is that what you want to be? You want to be Stick, Sex, and Hammer?
Ooh.
Hey, I'm wearing a shirt.
Anyway. You should have said, yeah, I'd love to have his freaking sub count, but you missed it. Too late. I gave you an opportunity.
If you want to talk about sub count, you asked Dodge about his sub count in Russia. Come on, Dodge.
That's a good point.
Russia famous.
Mad, you've been dick punched by B. I want to know how she hit. I mean, the minus difficulties. That's a good -8, -9 right there. Anything, Dodge? No? Okay.
Come on. Good boy. Come on, Dodge.
It's the fact he thinks that we're not going to do this, and I even told him I was going to do this.
No, actually, I got to throw something in the oven, so I'm actually up and I'm moving away from my desk.
Now, I want you to think of this, folks. God. He said he wants to put someone in the oven.
Yeah, oh shit, he's going to have another kid. He's going to have another kid. Look out.
He's going to put a bun in the oven. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, I think he's actually going to go and gas some Jews, but
oh
no! Could at least invite me.
Mad, Yorkie wants to be gassed with the Jews.
Basically, he was outed as a Jew. Is that what you're saying? What if he invited me to the freaking party? If that's the case, because I mean, I was outed as a Jew.
Yeah. As we're talking about things that happened. About your Jewishness, you know, where do we start? Or is that going to be an American?
The nose? I don't know. I mean, if we're going to go for stereotypes here, right? Don't I have to fit some stereotype? Isn't that how that actually supposed to work?
I would have commented about that, but I thought it'd be a bit on the nose.
Oh,
Ow. Boo.
Right, now that we've finished taking the piss out of mad burning Jews, right, where are we at? Who haven't we insulted yet?
I don't know.
Actually, think about it. I don't think there's many that we haven't.
I've insulted the English. I've insulted the Scottish. I've insulted Yorkie, whatever he is, and I've insulted Farty. So I think I'm pretty much good.
What about South Korean or Korean mail order brides? South Korea.
Oh, that is now Korea is an interesting question. What do people think is going to happen in Korea? Right, it's a new year. You know, it's obviously that Kim Jong Un is not going to sit there and get rid of his nukes. So, do you think he's going to give the United States a New Year's Eve present or a New Year's
I
present?
hope so. I mean, that would be interesting, wouldn't it?
I hope so.
Nothing's going to happen. It's going to be an anticlimax.
Yeah.
I know that's the problem.
Nothing's gonna. You guys expect, like I do, that nothing really is going to happen one way or another.
He doesn't have the balls. Kim Jong Un, you don't have the fucking balls. There you go. I'm trying to start it for you. There you go, Jensen. Merry Christmas, mate.
Thank you, man. That's what we needed. Let's get shit going.
Well, we're going
Right.
to ask Dade about this, but Dade's a prick.
Are you no, come on. It's not that
Yeah,
he's
no.
a prick. He just gets confused when it comes to America winning wars. He seems
No.
to think that the only wars they can win are, against Indians.
I'll rephrase
saying.
what I just said. I'll rephrase what I just said.
This coming from a Brit that tried twice.
Yeah, I'll rephrase what I just said. Kim Jong Un, come on, cunt, have a go if you think you're hard enough. Fucking come on, you fucking talking bloody shit, you fucking nip bastard. Come and fucking get us, you fucking dopey little
Yep.
bastard. Be a
Yep.
fucking man, you fucking
He can't
little
even
bastard.
he can't even insult the Koreans correctly.
Come on,
dip.
you tubby tyrant,
Japanese.
you run-toned ruler, and you bloody dumpy dictator, you fucking stupid with your penis bloody soup bowl haircut. Fucking come on, cunt. Come and have a fucking go. Bloody, yeah, fuck you.
Uncle
Now,
Farty.
there you go. I started that war for you.
Uncle Farty, take your medicine. go back over here.
Hey, get fuck you, whipping.
Guys, just have to read this out. From B, she had a student ask for a left-handed table. I just want you to think about this for a few seconds.
A
What?
left-handed table. Did
Yeah.
you say you couldn't find a left-handed table, but you found a backhanded one?
No, we offered some a hammer and some glass nails, but apparently they weren't interested. Oh, God.
Did you give them a box of grid squares?
Did you see what she's just put? I've not responded as I can't get past dear moron.
Oh, have you seen a crash-proof word processor?
Go on.
It's a typewriter.
That's what I was thinking. I was sitting here thinking to myself, that's just a typewriter.
Have you ever used a typewriter?
Actually, you'd be surprised, but yes, I have.
And are you saying you didn't crash it?
No, and when I slung the thing back, it didn't fly off. I totally thought it was going to, but
Then you were trying to type, apparently.
Then there's this other one from the 80s, which was a crash-proof random access memory, which was a full ring binder.
That's true.
Okay, this tag.
But the idea is those things could. I
Page 4, line
I will
6.
tell
Here
you
we go.
that 3-ring binders crashed on the floor very nicely and scattered everywhere. So that idea that it's not crash proof is ridiculous.
Well, that'll happen to any computer when you drop it.
That it's not crash proof. You
That-
made a
that-
false claim when you said that the 3-ring binders are crash proof. They're not crash proof, are they?
Well, they're easy to reinstall. What's your problem?
They might be easier to reinstall, but you said crash proof. Damn freaking hot. They just lie and over exaggerate everything.
Well, I really wouldn't call dropping it on its head and to the point where it does this to have a what was it, an unintentional, spontaneous, rapid disassembly. That's not really a crash. That's more just dropping it on its head.
Well, no,
Like
Mitch.
crashing it is when some arsehole comes along, does fucking drop it on its head, and then reinstalls the program wrong. And you go to Ed, and there's something beginning with Z. And you're like, what the fuck's this doing here?
Mitch the Ripper, does that mean that women are crash-proof sex robots? No, they can crash. It's called divorce.
That's not crashing.
And see, when some dumb fuck goes and puts something in the wrong spot, that's not really a crash. That is fucking... You are also, instead, as well as the search engine, you are the automatic fucking defragmentation device or defrag program that comes along, notices there's an and then corrects it while you're searching. So it's not a crash. It's just still, because every computer fucking puts shit in the wrong spot that slows down your searches and shit like that. And this is like, no, I've got to do this while I'm here. And it just slows down.
I'm not even sure I understand what he's saying. I'm almost afraid.
I don't. I'm reading the chat. Mitch the Ripper goes, blowjob.execute has stopped working. That's the problem? Do I just reinstall the program?
or do you give it a whack for a reboot?
Oh.
I apologize. My wife is standing right behind me. I better watch it.
So Mad Dodge is about to get rebooted. He just didn't realize it yet.
Ouch. All right, guys, I'm going to have to head. It's a bit too much for me now. So good night, all. Good night, everyone that turned out to listen to us talk crap. And remember, Dodge gave permission for everything we've said. Just remember that. See you guys.
Yeah, later, Jensen. Happy New Year.
Desmond. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year to all of you guys too. Bye-bye.
It's it, mate.
All right. Either we can keep going and try and make it all the way through and see how long StreamYards will let us go, or we could take a break for a couple hours and get back to it when the East Coast is about to hit. What say you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, do that.
It's, okay, we'll take a break for a couple hours. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. We'll be back for part 2, and that'll be the final part. We'll cover the East Coast and the West Coast New Year's. Happy New Year, everybody. We'll see you in an hour or two. Good night and good luck.
And blame the Jews.